Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I've got another DreamHack best of 3. It is MTW's DIMAGA playing against nAni. nAni is the blue Protoss player in the lower left and DIMAGA is the red Zerg in the top right. Now these replays have just only very recently been released from DreamHack. DreamHack are awesome for putting these all out on the public domain so we can all access them and see the incredible stuff which did go on. And well, DIMAGA, anyone who watched DreamHack knows, did very well. I'm not going to give away any spoilers. And nAni, obviously a well-known player as well. Both these top quality games. It's a best of 3, so do stay tuned. This is game 1. Do stay tuned for all the subsequent matches. Now it is the DreamHack version of the map, so basically it's very similar to the GSL one, just supply depots there is the only difference. And well, what can we expect from these players? nAni, well, Pylon on the low ground says, I'm fast expanding, either Forge first, Nexus first, or possibly something crazy like a 2 gate on the low ground, who knows. DIMAGA, we're going to almost certainly see a 14 or 15 pull into an early hatchery into a quick third base. The third base will be this one, obviously. And whether he goes for 14 or 15 pull doesn't make too much odds. Obviously, being Daybreak, it's slightly, fractionally, a tiny little bit Zerg favoured. So that's just from the official stats. But here we go, DIMAGA went for a 14 pull, perfectly fine. Just means you get those Zerglings out a little bit sooner, you get the Queen out a little bit sooner, you are a little bit safer. It makes practically no difference at all. But both these players are probably going to go pretty standard. What else can we get later on? Well, the third base progression for both players really, really easy. The fourth base, DIMAGA will probably take this fourth base because the Zerg players generally like to spread out more. It means that if the Protoss ball army decides to come and engage, say down here, you're safe from up the top. You can counterattack, things like that. nAni, on the other hand, may actually take this half base in the front position. It's that way you're just, well, if you defend this position, your third and natural are both safe from here. So that's a good choice. What else are the kind of key things on the map? Well, there's quite a bit of dead space coming into the main, also into the third base. So drops are very viable. This Overlord will see absolutely everything that went on. It was a Nexus first build, so that's pretty safe. And essentially the only thing, well, 6 Zerglings are coming out. That's slightly uncharacteristic. Generally you see, against a fast expanding Protoss such as this, you see only 2, maybe 4 Zerglings just to deny a pylon or any cannoning of the third or natural base. So it'll be interesting to see if DIMAGA can do any damage with that. He's also spreading out all of these Zerglings. They will encounter a probe on their way, but they're on move command, not attack command, so that probe will safely come through. Although having said that, DIMAGA already sending down this drone. He's going to get a very, very early third base. That's at 4 minutes. That is exceptionally early for that third. And with these 6 Zerglings, he's going to be in a pretty nice spot. The cannon isn't yet down, but the wall off is complete because the cyber core was just thrown down. But with a good surround, this could actually do quite a lot of damage. DIMAGA won't be able to take it down, I don't think, before that cannon goes down, but it may actually end up being really damn close. But no, we'll pull back, but that means now that Cyberclaw is a little bit damaged when it comes in, and now we've suddenly got this probe round here. DIMAGA is going to be very interested to know what that does. Obviously the risk of a cannon coming down here, pylons, etc. is quite substantial because that is a very, very early third base, but we do have these Zerglings moving down. Will they pick off the probe? We will wait and see. It looks like they have been spotted, and those Zerglings are going to go for it, but probe should be able to get away. Will eventually die, but will hopefully be able to get back to its base before everything goes pear-shaped. Meanwhile, we've got a Stalker on the way out. That's all very standard. Chrono boosting out. We've also got chrono boosted out. Warp gate tech. The Zealot's already there. One Zealot Stalker harassed by Protoss is so common, but it's very, very effective. DIMAGA doing a great job microing rather with these Zerglings. Look how many are on red health, and he actually goes down, and he only lost 2 Zerglings, which is pretty damn nice. We've got the 2 queens out at the moment. No extra queens are coming, which is a little bit kind of stylistic. Some Zerg players like to get a bonus creep spread queen. I personally think that's a really good move. It just means your creep spread's so much better. But someone like DIMAGA, such a high quality player, they've got their reasons for everything they do. So we will wait and see. This third base hasn't really started being used yet, and we'll be interested to see whether he does choose to actually use it, or when he does actually start transferring drones or building a lot. But we do have this pylon down. There are 3 more gateways being added on, so a good little bit of 4 gate pressure. This is in no way an all-in, but it's enough to make the Zerg sweat a little bit. They've got to produce units. It just stops them getting into that lovely point of up to about 70 to 80 drones, where they just then start pumping units, and a Protoss player can really end up in trouble. This Stalker, though, really low. You don't want to lose a Stalker to slow Zerglings, but there are 2 pylons down, and that front pylon is very, very far forward. There's a 3rd pylon down right at the back as well. But now these Zealots are coming in. Well, these Zerglings are going to have a tough time. How is DIMAGA going to do this? You don't want to just flood, because obviously you're not going to come out too well against just so many Zealots. Speed isn't yet done, though. And somehow DIMAGA is making this work exceptionally well. These Zealots aren't fighting in the best possible position, but here we go. This is exactly where they want to be, where they're cornered in a back, and the Zerglings have to engage one at a time. And some Zealots coming from the back, and all of these Zerglings could now get cleaned up. And to be honest, if Zerglings can't get a surround on Zealots, Zealots engage so cost effectively against Zerglings. It's actually quite crazy. As you can see here, just Zergling after Zergling will go down. And if we look at the loss tab, it's actually coming out worse for nAni at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if that stays that way, but speed is now done, and suddenly now DIMAGA is going to be in a good spot. Stalkers are now slower. We've got a Baning Nest on the way, so we could see a big Baning bus come down, and that actually be really effective at the moment, because, well, there's only these 4 gateways. There's now a robotics facility being added on. And with just so many Zerglings, they're going straight for the Cybercore, and it looks like DIMAGA not even going to wait for those Banelings, is just going to charge in, and taking out that Cybercore would be a real big hit. It means no more sentries and no more stalkers, and if you can't walk in sentries against this, then what the hell do you do? Because you need those force fields to defend against the Banelings, but there are 3 sentries there now. DIMAGA is morphing in 11 Banelings, and so far nAni has no clue what's coming for him. There's 16 more Zerglings on their way. If we look at the work count, it's 50 to 36. Suddenly a lot of pylons being built, more gateways, trying to double wall in here. And, well, some great force fields. Those Banelings can't quite connect yet, but the cannon goes down just from the splash. That is a big loss. This is suddenly adding in a lot of problems here for nAni. Any force fields which do go down at this stage are a big loss. That Forge is going to get sniped before the +2 finishes. There's so much research time lost, and there is a small gap there, and the Banelings get in, and they're going to detonate on the sentries. There's a huge loss now, those sentries are down, and suddenly DIMAGA is looking to be in an absolutely amazing position. How is nAni going to defend this? Well, he's got more warp gates in production. He needs to start getting those warp ins, but of course with no cybernetics core or no cybernetics core in production, this could be a huge problem. So many probes are getting taken down here. This is absolutely tremendous by DIMAGA, and he can't actually slip through there. Nice try, and suddenly his Banelings are walled out again, but they're going to just detonate, kill off a pylon before there's any chance. And now a big Zergling surround on that gateway will take that down. More force with amazing defense here by nAni. Absolutely brilliant. Kind of boosting out on these gateways just to try and get literally as many units out on the field as possible. That Cybercore, is there even a Cybercore on the field? I don't think there is. So it is literally, there must be one somewhere. Where on earth is the cybernetics core? I cannot see it for the life of me, and this is a bit, there we go, it's right in front of me. So there is a Cybercore down. What am I on about? We've got Warp Prism on its way down now, and, well, suddenly DIMAGA is looking like this push has lost momentum. But if you look, nAni is just so walled, and he's going to have to kill off either a gateway or some pylons, but there is no good solution here in the slightest. And, well, nAni, he's got to do something good. He's got that Warp Prism out, and that could do something very, very interesting. Could definitely go and harass this third base. Some Spine Crawlers coming down here, which is a great move. Just some spines at the back of the main, or even the natural would be great just to help our defense against drop play, which is really, really likely. And the reason you know drop play is going to be likely is when you've got your opponent contained like this. Their only options is to either try and push out through the front, which nAni isn't in a position to do, or to drop down the back. Now this Warp Prism has nothing. There's some Zerglings here. Will the Zerglings see it? There's an Overlord as well, so the Warp Prism has now been spotted, which is going to cause some problems, because suddenly this Queen, it's going to be moving its way in. There's those spines there. The Warp Prisms can actually take quite a beating, and a lot of these Zerglings are now pulling back. There's this Overlord on the high ground at the back here. Great place to put an Overlord. Any Zerg players watching, that is absolutely fantastic. What else we've got? Extended Thermal Lances on the way. The 1-1 upgrade's only now just really about, well, +1 melee attack, 3/4 done, +1 melee army. Ground armor, half done, well, just under half done for DIMAGA here. And that is up against just a well, no, not even +1 done yet for nAni, so upgrade advantages going in DIMAGA's favour, and DIMAGA is really ahead now. I mean, he actually only killed 8 probes, which is quite surprising, and that does mean that he's only 2 workers ahead. Really needs to drone pretty hard, but for the moment it looks like DIMAGA is just staying as aggressive as possible. He's putting out all of his units. That Warp Prism still just sitting back, can't really get in anywhere, and now we will see nAni moving out, and this is quite a big scary force, and I don't really know how he's going to be able to cope with this. DIMAGA, tech-wise, he's only got that Baning Nest out. I can't see a Rochuan yet. Good way to check. No, there's no Rochuan on its way, or even thought about yet. There is just drop tech coming down, and now that could be really interesting. A big Zergling drop into the main would be huge. This is very, very much Ling Infestor style, but as you'll notice, there is no Infestors. So Ling Bling, we could see big Baning Rain come down, and that's always awesome to watch, but can be a little bit difficult to pull off. Ventricle Sacks rather on their way, and well, what is DIMAGA going to do? Because this push is suddenly looking really, really scary. nAni on equal supply all of a sudden with those two Colossi out. It can actually start becoming awkward. We've got some Zerglings coming for a counter-attack though. Is there anything back home to defend? Well, there's two Photon Cannons coming down. These gateways are walling everything off from those. That sentry there. Suddenly this third base of DIMAGA is looking to be not so pretty. Well, there's those three spines. Some Zerglings are coming forward. And where's the rest of all of DIMAGA's forces? Just sitting back here. So many Zerglings, so many Banelings, but with extended thermal lance and spine callers, they're going to be able to do absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, we've got a huge Zergling counter-attack coming in here by DIMAGA, but with force fields, with those cannons, how long can it last? Well, quite a long time, because now, while there are some extra force fields on this sentry, there is only that one sentry. The third base is cleared out pretty nicely. Were any drones taken down? No, all the drones were pulled before anything too bad happened. And, well, this is suddenly getting really damn crazy. We've got more Zerglings here. We've got Zerglings streaming back to deal with this push from nAni. Spines are coming down. All the Banelings are back as far as they can go. A great wall of force fields there, and suddenly this melee-only force from DIMAGA is not looking too effective. And especially with these Colossi defended so well, this just could get very, very scary. But here goes DIMAGA. The force fields weren't down, but a great wave of force fields there means they're not too much going in. There's a small gap, and in come the Banelings, but all the Banelings trapped. There's an amazing force field by nAni there, and suddenly DIMAGA is looking to be in an awful lot of trouble. He put so much into that early aggression and just didn't do enough economical damage, and now he could very well lose the game here and now. He's got only Zerglings in production, but with these Colossi, they are not going to be effective in the slightest. Drop tech is done, but not the Overlord speed, and to be honest, I expect to see GG from DIMAGA, and there we go. So, that was Game 1. Stay tuned for Game 2. It should be awesome.